In connection with the detention of more than 300 Korean workers in Georgia, President Trump said the United States should bring in skilled professionals from countries like Korea to train American workers directly, and that he would review the visa system as a whole.
미국 조지아주에서 한국인 노동자 300여 명이 구금된 사태와 관련해 트럼프 대통령은 한국을 비롯한 외국의 전문 인력을 불러 미국 근로자들을 직접 훈련시키고 비자 제도 전반을 검토하겠다고 밝혔습니다.
네.
Alright, so why did President Trump propose bringing skilled workers from places like Korea?
Well, of course, this was a huge story yesterday, all the arrests that were made at the Hyundai plant, so many Koreans being sent back to Korea. So that caused a big controversy in Korea, which is a very close ally with the States, or is supposed to be, and a huge investor in the United States. So he had to do a little bit of damage control. And also, of course, there's a chronic labor shortage in U.S. manufacturing. So Trump's tariffs are actually partially aimed at fixing that problem to bring manufacturing back to the United States.
Okay, so on that point, I thought it was the Trump administration's purpose or their intention to have their own workers.
Right, exactly.
Why do we want professionals from overseas?
Because you're going to have to train the workers that are in America, because for such a long time, manufacturing has been sent away from the United States.
Aha.
So that has resulted in people who are on the ground, people who need to make the things, are no longer in the United States, no longer, American workers are no longer trained in those skills.
그러니까 제조 산업이 미국에서 빠져나온 지 꽤 오래가 됐기 때문에 이렇게 기술직들 또는 이렇게 cutting edge technology를 다룰 workers on the ground가 많지 않기 때문에 이제 해외에서 초청을 할 거다라고 얘기를 한 거죠.
There's also labor issues happening across American industries right now because of the aggressive immigration policies that are being put into place, from farms all the way to automotive.
Yeah, so from the very 우리가 1세대 production이라고 하죠, to all the way to cutting edge things like batteries that we are talking about right now. You used the term people on the ground, so that is not one of the official terms that we chose, but what does that mean?
It means people who are actually doing the thing, the people who are in the situation, in reality.
So in this case, you are referring to people living in the country, right?
In the country, who are working in the factory.
factories.
Their boots are on the factory floor and they are turning the screws.
그러니까 현장에 있는 사람을 people on the ground라고 합니다. And you also said they are bringing in skilled professionals.
That's right, from countries such as Korea, of course. Now, bring in sounds like a simple word, but there are so many ways that this can be used.
That's right.
In this case, we're talking about asking for help or expertise. You request somebody to come and train you in this case, or perform a specific task. Like, we need to bring in an expert.
That's the thing with shorter expressions. The shorter they are, the more usages they have.
Right, because you can bring in a lot of different things. You can bring in a law, for example, bring in a new law. You can bring in a new member of a group. You can bring in can also mean how much income you earn.
Bringing the dough.
Or you can bring in a criminal. Bring in somebody for questioning. The police would bring somebody in. There's a lot of different meanings for that.
네, 이 bring in 단순히 두 개의 단어인데도 뜻이 사용할 수 있는 방법이 정말 많아요. 예를 들어서 bring in the money 하면 돈을 가져오다. Bring in a new member to a club. 이 클럽의 새로운 멤버를 데려오다. 이런 건데 이 기사에서는 도움을 받기 위해 누군가를 데려오다 라는 뜻으로 사용이 되었습니다. Because you're asking for help from people with expertise.
Right. So as part of his damage control, Trump also said that he will review the visa system as a whole. As a whole here is WHOL, like the whole thing, meaning as a complete unit.
그러니까 이제 스펠링을 이제 다시 한번 짚어주신 게 구멍, HOLE와 발음이 정확히 똑같잖아요. But it is a different word as a whole. 전반적으로, 전체적으로 봤을 때. So as a whole, it means overall.
Right.
Or
The
on the
complete,
whole.
the complete thing. We need to look at the problem as a whole before America digs itself into too deep of a hole.
Ah, yes.
Just to make it a little more
두
confusing.
가지의 홀을 쓰셨는데요. We are looking at the visa problem as a whole. 이렇게 사용이 됐었죠. All right, here is the article once more. In connection with the detention of more than 300 Korean workers in Georgia, President Trump said that the United States should bring in skilled professionals from countries like Korea to train American workers directly, and that he would review the visa system as a whole.
21 years after the 5-day work week was introduced in 2004, discussions on adopting a 4.5-day work week and extending the retirement age are now in full swing, signaling major changes in the labor market.
2004년 주 5일제가 시행된 지 21년 만에 주 4.5일제와 정년 연장 논의가 본격화되면서 노동시장에 큰 변화가 예고됩니다. So why is this discussion coming in full swing?
Well, it's something that we're talking about a lot in the news in Korea these days, of course, because of the low birth rate and the aging population. And improving quality of life is an issue that is going to be affecting both of those things as well. Because if people are more comfortable and they have more of a work-life balance, that's hopefully going to encourage them to increase the birth rate in the country.
그러니까 워라밸이 좋아지면 출산율에도 도움이 되지 않을까 이런
그렇죠.
말을 한 겁니다.
네, because the population age 65 and older is now over 20%. So Korea is very quickly becoming a super aged society.
그래서 우리나라 인구 비중의 20%가 올해 65세 이상이 되었습니다. 그래서 대한민국 is fast becoming a 초고령 사회, a super aged society.
그렇죠. So it's a combination of extending the retirement age and cutting down the work week a bit because there's going to be more older people around. So hopefully they'll be able to contribute to the workforce for a little bit longer, and people will all be able to have a better work-life balance.
So we are working shorter hours per week, but we're working longer in terms of the whole lifespan.
Well, not yet. Korea is still one of the most hardworking countries in the world, in the OECD.
So it's all relative, isn't it?
Well, this is a plan that hopefully will come into effect, or that many people are pushing for in the future, because Korea is one of the top working countries in the world. Only 5 other countries are beating Korea in the OECD: Colombia, Mexico, Costa Rica, Chile, and Israel, based on 2022 statistics.
I feel some kinship with these nationals.
Right. Well, Korea is famous for its kind of long working hours, so that's something that people are hoping to address.
Yeah, it is infamous for it, isn't it?
Sure.
그래서 OECD 회원국 중에 우리나라보다 더 많이 일하는 국가들은 5개인데요. 콜롬비아, 멕시코, 코스타리카, 칠레, 이스라엘이라고 합니다. So, working shorter hours per week, 4.5 days a week, I don't think the businesses are going to like that.
No, of course, because 부장님 still wants you to stay late and finish this job, right? So, of course, there's going to be a reduction in productivity if people are working less. So that's one thing that especially smaller businesses are concerned about. But also there's other concerns as well, like hospital staff and emergency staff, like the police and the fire department. There might not be as many people to address emergencies. So those are some issues that will have to be addressed.
We have seen in certain countries, though, where they have reduced the working hours per day and productivity on the whole has increased.
Right. There aren't any countries that have done it across the country, but there are some companies within countries, or there are some governments that are starting to look at it. Like, for example, Microsoft Japan tried it out for a while, but it did result in quite a large drop in sales per employee. So it's going to be a tricky one.
It is going to be a trickier one, and one that we will have to play for a long time to see the actual results.
Before this system is adopted. Adopting a 4.5-day work week is what we're talking about. Adopt usually means to legally take in a child that is not biologically yours, but you can also use it to take something up or to follow, for example, adopt a new system.
That's right. Adopt, A-D-O-P-T, adopt. 이 단어에는 정식으로 무언가를 선택하는 개념이 있어요. 그래서 동물이나 아이를 입양할 때도 adopt. 정책을 채택할 때도 adopt. 어떤 방식을 따르겠다라고 할 때도 adopt. You can use it in all situations.
그럼요. And these discussions have long been in full swing. If something's in full swing, it means it's operating fully in full steam. It's no longer in its early stages.
Okay, in full swing, 한창 진행 중인이라는 뜻입니다. So discussions are in full swing in this case, right?
That's right.
Okay.
And they have been for a while. People are very interested in working fewer hours, I imagine.
Why not? If you are on the employee side. Yes.
Right, exactly.
All right, 21 years after the 5-day work week was introduced in 2004, discussions on adopting a 4.5-day work week and extending the retirement age are now in full swing, signaling major changes in the labor market.